All right.
And I'm going to look at it again and see what the effect on me is. But that was the effect on me. I felt my monarch training.
Mm.
I felt it. I feel it there. And the feeling is, I have no answer and I don't need an answer kind of feeling,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And it's a feeling like, I'm sure there's a good reason.
You want to know?
No, there's a,
But let's
those
break
are
it.
the things
Okay.
that come into my mind.
That's
I'm
the
sure
feeling.
there's a good reason.
No, that's the first
And
feeling. Okay.
That's one of the feelings. And another one of the feelings is I don't know, but it.
You never asked yourself that question, and the question again, I repeat, is.
No, I'm not saying I don't ask myself the question.
Hold on, for the video. Okay? The listeners, the viewers need to understand the context. So I'm sitting here with my good friend, and it's about, I don't know, what is it, it's like 7:30? It's about 7:30. The sun is over there doing the sunset thing. And on this side right here, I'm sitting here, I look up, and what do I see? I see the moon. So I asked my friend, look at the moon. You see how half of it is lit up. But did you notice how the other half, you can see the blue sky, quote unquote, behind it? Explain that to me. How is that possible based on your, or we'll say the official narrative explanation of that object in the sky? Continue. Go ahead.
What it looks like is just this half fragment in the sky. That's what it looks like. Something very lightweight, translucent, that is hanging in the sky. It doesn't look like a ball hanging in the sky. It looks like a half ball.
A half ball.
A half ball.
Yeah, like somebody cut a tennis ball and is dangling it there, or like somebody cut a wafer. You know those wafers that the Christians get? What is, you know, like the communion, right? So someone took one of those, cut it in half, and just
put it in the sky.
Put it in the sky.
And so it's hanging there in a sky which is basically one color, blue.
Blue.
It's a blue sky.
And why is the sky blue? Do you know the answer to this question?
Well,
what's the official?
Go down another route.
Well, no. But it's important. Why is the sky blue? What's the official reason? Do you know the official reason? The collectively agreed upon explanation for why the sky is blue? Do you know?
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is it because the ocean it's reflecting the ocean? That doesn't seem right.
Okay, then why is it black at night?
Right.
Mehdi, come here. We just asked a great question, and I'm sure you know the answer to this, okay?
Maybe.
I'm videotaping the moon, okay? We're talking about the moon.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You're a science guy, right? You know stuff. Why is the sky blue?
Why is the sky blue?
Correct.
I don't know, the atmosphere, something like that.
Go on. Tell us, because I really don't know why.
I don't know. It's like it's a thing with the gas composition of like atmosphere and stratosphere and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because once you pass that, it becomes all black.
Once you pass that, it becomes all black. So why is it all black at night?
There's no sun. It's the light. It's the light with the composition
Of the atmosphere.
of the atmosphere.
So you,
I think so. I'm not sure.
So
I mean, we learned this stuff in school, no? Didn't we
I
learn
knew
it
that
in
a
science?
long time
That was a
ago,
long
but-
time ago. That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Most people learned it, but it was like in 5th grade, and you passed the exam, and you never had to think about it again.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's that. But
I think you're right.
something about what the things that are in the air, are different colors and
It's like
Yeah.
like when it's hit by the light, it creates a certain
Yeah.
color.
And
So
when there's
when-
no
so-
light,
so
it's
when
just
there's no light-
it's black.
Yeah.
It's actually darkness, the
It's dark.
absence
Yeah,
of light.
the absence.
It's not black, it's darkness.
Yeah. There's no.
so maybe the second question is that's not lit up.
Yeah.
Why is it the same color as the sky? Like you
What?
can see the sky through the moon.
No, you don't see the sky through. You just see like the craters of the moon and the reflection.
I'm not talking about the side, the half you see. I'm talking about the half you can't see.
Oh, the half you can see. I don't know.
Right. I don't know either.
But it doesn't actually, it doesn't compute though, right? Because if you think about it, it's a solid, what is the moon, Mehdi? The moon is a solid object in the sky.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
So you cannot see through a solid object.
No, you can't see.
You cannot.
No.
So how is it that we are right now in real time observing the sensation of seeing through a solid object? How is that possible?
I don't know.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, but like it's definitely like it's the moon phases. I don't know how they work.
No, but I mean, forget what you know. Just looking at it, it wouldn't make sense if you put those two together.
He's saying the same things that I was saying.
No, absolutely. We're trying to understand why.
You know, like there's one occurrence like black holes. You can see behind them, and it's thing where like the light bends around them.
A black hole.
Like interstellar
Okay.
shit.
Okay, interstellar shit, which we've never actually seen with our own eyes.
Yeah,
But
we saw it with like
they did. Yeah, but
no, with big telescopes.
with big telescopes.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is us here, the three of us right now in real time,
no.
in reality, we are looking at this thing right
I don't know,
now
like the moon phases stuff.
and
I don't
trying
have, like,
to explain why a solid object supposedly, allegedly,
you know, it's a solid object, bro.
but no, that's what I'm saying. We're asking ourselves, allegedly, supposedly, a solid object is in the sky, and yet we are observing that we can see the sky behind this supposed solid object. We can all agree there's half a cracker in the sky, half a wafer.
Let me like I need my phone, but like
Yeah, okay, go get your phone. We gotta get the AI overview. What does Grok say about it? What does ChatGPT say about it?
No, you don't need like all the. It just like a.
But just the thought itself is just the question itself. We all agree it makes no sense, right? What we're looking at makes no sense.
Oh, we don't understand it.
We don't understand it, so it makes no
But
sense.
There's
An explanation?
there
It has to be.
definitely-
You're gonna
no,
get.
there's
You're gonna.
100% an explanation.
100% there is an explanation. We will find that explanation tonight. You're
Yeah.
gonna get your phone and you
Yeah, I'll get my phone.
go get your phone before our heads explode. No, I mean we're sitting here and I'm looking right at it and I go, wait a second, how's that possible?
So he's getting his phone. That's very good.
Yeah.
But he had the same exact reaction that I was describing to you. The reaction is like, I don't really want to know. I don't want to talk about this. And also, if you insist, then
I'm gonna get my phone and we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
phone. Well, that's only after you insisted. But before that, he's saying he's giving explanations, none of which made any sense. Just like I couldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But we don't want to. The monarch thing means that we don't dwell there. Where you're trying to make us dwell, right? We don't dwell there. We don't dwell on looking at a moon that is obviously solid because we've landed on it,
Yeah.
and looking at it and seeing behind it, but you've seen behind it thousands of times already. It's not like
In your
you're
life, yeah.
In your life. It's
Your
not
lifetime.
like you're looking at anything new,
Yeah.
right? You're looking at the same old bloody moon that you've seen your whole life.
Your whole life. Day in, day
in
out.
and day out.
Yeah.
And yet so the question
Is the first time.
the question of why you can see the sky behind it, and you know you can see the sky behind it, right?
So basically,
Okay, tell us.
we orbit around the sun. The moon orbits around us. And depending on where the moon is
Yeah.
in its orbit around the Earth,
Yeah.
and how the light of the sun hits it,
Okay.
we either see a full moon, a half moon. I think.
Yes, that makes the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
But we weren't really talking about what's making the phases. He's talking about why we can see the sky behind the moon.
We don't
The
see
part
the
that's
sky behind
dark.
the moon. We see the reflection because like the part that is not lit
Yes.
Is blue, like the sky.
it's just.
But it's blue,
just
like
But
the sky.
But shouldn't that solid thing stop your vision? Stop your vision. It's not going to be the exact identical color of the sky behind it. It's whatever it
might
is.
be the exact, but like at this
What?
distance we can't make a difference.
We should just not be able to see anything there.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT, why can we see the sky through the moon? Let's see. Because that's what I'm looking at. So I want to know, why can I see the sky? Because that's what I'm looking at through what is supposed to be a solid object. How is that possible? And you gotta type it in word for word.
Yeah. Why can we see the sky through the moon?
When it's a quarter moon, which it is right now.
Uh,
So that's called. It's called the quarter moon. And at night, what we will find if we stay out here long enough is that we will be able to see stars
before sunset, right?
during, because sunset is now.
It's a bit before. Right?
Well, yeah, way before. I mean, this you can even see during the day sometimes.
Okay, great observation. Might look like you're seeing the sky through the moon when it's a quarter moon near sunset, but you're actually not. Here's what's happening. The moon is always a full sphere. The moon doesn't change shape. It's always a full sphere. What changes is how much of the sunlit side we can see from Earth, depending on the moon's position relative to the sun and Earth. This causes the phases: new moon, crescent, quarter, gibbous, and full. The unlit part blends with the sky. During the quarter moon, only half
It blends with the sky.
It blends with it. So during the quarter moon, only half of the moon's face, as seen from Earth, is lit by the sun. The other half is in the shadow, not directly illuminated, especially before sunset when the sky is still. Since the shadow part of the moon isn't reflecting much light and the sky behind it is still fairly bright, our eyes can't easily distinguish the dark part of the moon from the sky. It gives the
Can't
illusion-
easily distinguish. Very
it gives
important.
The illusion that we're seeing through.
It gives an illusion. So so we are seeing an illusion right now.
Yeah, it's
The
like-
three of us are being illusionated.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. There's no transparency.
I got something for you. I
just
got you a
contrast.
gift, Yanni. I'll be right back.
It's all about contrast. The illuminated
about
part is
contrast?
bright and visible. The shadow part is dim or invisible against the still bright sun, sky, especially when there's atmospheric haze or light scattering near sunset. If you were to look at the same quarter moon during the darker sky, for example after sunset, you'd often still see the dark portion faintly lit by earth shine, light reflected from Earth, making the full shape of the moon more vivid. So, yeah, it's a light thing. It's a light thing that creates an illusion. And it's the contrast. Like you can see like the full moon, but just like even the other part is so much brighter than the other. It gives the illusion that we're seeing.
It's something to do with the angle that the light is shining on the moon. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sky, right?
It's especially like from what they say, it's the contrast like between the lit part and the unlit part is so high, especially during these conditions, that it gives
Close your eyes. Open your hands. But you gotta close the eyes. Don't open yet. Did you give the explanation, Eddie?
yeah, it's an illusion.
It's an illusion. All right. All right.
Can I open my eyes?
Yes, you can when you're ready. Happy belated. Jay, come take a look. Look at the moon. Tell me what you see.
Do you know this ring, Jay?
Is that mine?
I told you. I called it.
Where did you find this?
I don't remember, but somewhere in the house where you must have put it.
Yeah.
I wore it for a few hours, but
Was it your father's ring?
Yeah.
I called it, right?
yes, wonderful.
Okay. Yes.
So go ahead. Explain what you're looking at.
The moon.
Okay.
with its dark side.
With its dark side?
Yeah,
What does that mean? With its dark side.
where the light is not hitting the what's on the moon.
Okay, and what do you see on the dark side? S- Blue.
Yeah.
Okay, like the sky.
Yeah,
How is that possible?
because why the sky is blue?
Why is the
It's-
sky blue? Actually, we asked that question too.
Gases has density, and so when the light hits the gas, it diffuses differently.
We could tell you're the youngest and you're in university because you just learned all this stuff,
Okay.
right?
Really?
So-
That and
so-
also
We
from
forgot
my-
all this stuff.
So okay, so
So
that-
continue. Hold on. So
But-
gases.
So gases, they have densities,
Mm-hmm.
and when the light hits the gas, oxygen, and so forth,
Atmosphere.
atmosphere, it turns the sky blue, or at least gives the illusion that the sky is blue.
The illusion.
Well, not illusion, it is. I mean, like, it's why plants are green is because they have, what is it?
Chlorophyll. No. Is it?
Different kind of frequencies.
Yeah, it's frequency.
Frequency, wave
Like
lengths
different,
and
like,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah. And so gases are the same, they have different wavelengths, and so when the light hits the sky, it turns blue.
Okay.
Now, because there's no light hitting the moon, it gives off the illusion that it's blue because there's nothing really lighting the moon.
So, okay, but to me, when I look at it, I basically comprehend, understand that I'm seeing what's behind the moon.
Well,
Because,
it's not behind the moon.
well, it's not behind the moon?
Well, no, I mean it's because the light is not hitting the moon, and so there's nothing to light, and what we see is the sky instead.
So are we,
But why?
okay,
Why would you see the sky instead?
Well, it's not the sky, but basically we look at nothing because it's not lighting the moon up. I mean, if it's not lighting the moon, then
but
what would you
isn't
see?
it the
Nothing.
but I'm seeing the sky. That's all I'm saying is what I'm seeing is the sky. You can describe it however you want, but that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's what, okay. Let's say that white part,
Yeah?
the light.
Let's say.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, okay.
Or like in general, I don't know.
I don't know. Is it hypothetical? Is it literal? Is it
Yeah, literal.
Literally.
Let's say.
Okay, so literally,
Light is not hitting that part of the moon, the white part. What do we see?
light is not or is hitting?
Not hitting.
Is not hitting the part
Of the white part.
that
The
we
one that
do
we
see.
see,
So what
yeah.
are we seeing? We're seeing its own light?
No.
Isn't
It's
it a reflection?
So let's say I have something in my hand. I have a light source here.
Okay,
It hits this part.
okay.
What we're seeing that is the
Okay, so
reflection
let's
of it.
use that model. Okay, you
Okay.
take a mirror right now. You take a mirror, a
It's
little
not the
bit,
reflection, it's
but
the
that's what
light
a mirror
itself.
does. Reflects, right? That's a reflection.
Not little reflection, it's the it's
That, I
Okay.
mean, what does that have its own light, or is that a reflection, like a mirror? So if you
It's
took a
not-
mirror,
no, listen.
listen.
It's not the mirror. It's not like a
That's why it's good to
reflection.
have the science guys here. They're gonna explain things to you. You
it's
know,
It's not a reflection.
It's not?
reflected light. How
it's reflected
it's
light.
how you see me. The reason why you're seeing me is because light is reflecting off me.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
So
That's
it's-
how you see everything.
And
Okay.
that's what the moon is.
So
The reason why we're looking at the moon is because the sun is hitting the moon. when
okay,
the
then
light
explain
shines.
this. How come the sun is yellow and I'm seeing white?
Because the sun is white.
The sun is white.
The reason why it's yellow is because it's passing through the
Through layers of gas.
all the
Atmosphere.
gases. Yeah. And it's in a different wavelength.
Huh. Anyways, now the moon is gone, so
when,
we
when
can.
you're in space, it's white.
It's
Yeah.
Like
white.
bright white.
Yeah.
The sun is bright.
Bright white.
Yeah, white.
So how come all the photos I've seen of astronauts is always black?
No, white. The
No,
sun. The sun
The
is
sun
white.
is white.
Oh, the sun is white.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the emptiness is black.
Emptiness is black.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the absence of it. There's nothing to reflect. There's nothing.
God said, "Let there be light."
God said, let there be, in the beginning, God said, let there be light. That was actually, he did that on the third day. On the first day, he created the heavens and the earth. On the second day, you know what he created? The firmament to separate the waters above from the waters below. And I will now tell all of you, take it or not, why the sky is blue. The sky is blue because it is water. And in the Bible it says, on the second day he created the firmament. And the firmament is what science calls the atmosphere. But it is a literal separation of the waters above from the waters below. On the fourth day, he separated the seas and brought forth the land, and he called the land earth.
Okay, so maybe the waters were like, now we define them as like the different kinds.
Perhaps, but I'm just telling. This is biblical. I'm not making this shit up.
Yeah.
And that's the explanation. If that's the only explanation as to why. And then on the was it the fourth day, the fifth day, fourth day,
Blue waters.
fourth day, he created the lights in the sky. The greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. The greater light he called the sun. The lesser light he called the moon. Equally, one rules the day, one rules the night. Continuously since the dawn of time, forever.
Like, it doesn't emit light, so it's
Again, we're just talking biblically. He created it, they're separate.
Yeah, man. But like biblically, like all the.
Okay, now bring up the Quran. What does the Quran say? What's the creation story of the Quran?
Pretty much the same. Like Genesis.
Word for word? Genesis.
Similar.
You have Genesis in the Quran?
No.
Well, it's the same. It's not called the Genesis.
What is it called? Al Genesis? Was that racist? That was racist, right? No, that was culturally. That was culturally funny, no?
What did you say? I wasn't listening. I was looking at my new toy.
No, they don't call it Genesis, so I said, what do they call it? Al Genesis?
But no, like I don't remember.
I'm gonna pick up a copy. They have the Quran in English, huh?
Yeah.
And does it go? It starts with the creation story? No, like all the holy books.
Doesn't start.
No, okay.
But there's so many texts and like how you interpret the
Of course, all is interpretation. Of course,
If you read it in English, then it's translated
from
kind
Greek, and then the Jews have their own version.
No, like Quran was always in Arabic.
Mm.
Bible was in Arabic. Latin, also.
So think about that one. The sky is blue because it is water. I know, mind blow. Mind blow. I am very interested in picking up a copy of the Quran just to read their story, you know? I mean, they're all stories, right? I mean, I wasn't there when they wrote them. I mean, so it's my belief in them that brings them to reality or really creates them in this plane of existence. Isn't that nice? Look at that. How nice is that?
Yeah, you can see it there.
No, but just the way you got the little puffs of pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. How lovely is that? Puffs of pink in the sky.
And the moon went behind the building.
The moon is, if you stand over here, you can still see it. If you stand on the bench over there, you can still see it.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Bye, Jay. I'll see you later. So there you have it.
So maybe the moon.
Oh, okay. We're still going? We're still going with
maybe
this?
the moon. The sun is coming at it from a certain angle,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So what you're imagining is
Am I imagining it or am I seeing
the
it?
moon like a disc, right?
Okay.
Because you've seen it when it's full, and when it's full, you see a whole disc, and now you see half a disc.
Okay.
So that's why you think there's something behind there. You see, but maybe it's the way the sun is shining. It only shines a little bit on a piece of the moon, and so the rest of it I'm not getting there, am I? I'm not getting through.
No, I'm listening. I'm just trying to find a nice thing so I don't have to hold the camera. We can just keep recording. Yeah. Okay, so go on. Tell me what you were saying. Say that
I
again.
know, I don't think it made any sense.
Okay,
I was
so-
thinking it was something to do with the angle that the sun is lighting
Okay,
it up.
forget all that.
Forget all that.
Forget all that. First,
Forget all that.
if Chandra Prakash taught me anything at 19, he said you must first unlearn everything in order to learn it all again properly. So we just experienced what they then proved exists, which is cognitive dissonance, right? Where what you're actually seeing does not correlate with what you are taught, believe. Ask the AI what is the answer, and they will tell you that what you're seeing is an illusion. It's funny.
Of course. If
No,
you-
I'm not seeing an illusion. I'm seeing what I'm
if
seeing.
If you know the flat Earth literature a little bit.
Well, I mean,
there-
it's
there's-
biblical. It's in.
that-
Why did I start
yes,
reading the
but
Bible?
I was going to say there is that idea that we see too far, right? Where we should be not seeing past the curvature of the Earth, right? And when they calculate it, we see a city that we shouldn't be seeing. on the
Forget
skyline, right?
without knowing any
But-
of that. We're just talking
No,
about.
I know,
yeah.
but I'm saying
We know all that. Yes.
now you made me lose my point, which I was making an analogy to that. I was making an analogy to that. It's like
Anyway, so going back to the answer. The answer. So the answer is, why can you see the sky through the moon? The question is, why is the sky blue? The sky is blue because it is water.
okay. If you want that answer, I'm okay with it.
It's not that I want it. I didn't make it up. I didn't come up with this stuff. It is what it is. It is biblical.
Just because it says it in the Bible.
No,
doesn't
but it
make
says it
true.
everywhere. No, of course we could argue that, but that's. I'm just telling you. I'm not asking. Okay. And so, the next question, which is, how can we see something through a solid object? Well, that must then illustrate that it cannot be a solid object because we are seeing through it. You cannot see through a not solid. So our own eyes are telling us, okay, it's just like they tell us we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. I don't feel any spin. You try going in a vehicle at 1,000 miles an hour, you're gonna feel it.
So the Chat GPT and what each of them explained about this moon never made any sense, right?
Well, concluded that what we're seeing is an illusion.
They concluded that.
That's the official, like, they're telling you that actually what you're looking at is an illusion. It's a mirage. What you're seeing is a mirage. That's what that telecaster said in this famous clip of why they could see Chicago
Yes,
from,
it's
you
a
know.
mirage.
What you're seeing
Well, that's-
is a mirage.
So that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, well, they're telling us that what we're seeing is an illusion. So, if it is not a solid object in the sky, what is it? Is it reflecting light? Okay, well, let's examine that one. If you take a mirror, and you got the sun shining on the mirror, and you shine that mirror down onto a piece of paper or whatever, you can burn the paper. You've done that? You're using a magnifying, you focus everything, and you focus the light,
Yeah.
and right? Or
But
right? Right? Like if you take a mirror, the sun reflects, and then if you measure the temperature of that reflection will be hot. Well, they've done tests, and if you measure the temperature of the moonlight, it is in fact cold,
yes, I know.
right? This is why it's cold at night.
Yes.
People are like, wow, it's super hot during the day, and at night it's super cold. How did that happen? Well, it's the moon, because the moon is in fact its own source. It says it in the Bible. On the third day he created the lights in the sky, in the heavens. He put it in the heavens, which means in the firmament, within the firmament, which also explains why they are the same size and much closer than we are told they are. Even though we experience it every day. Wow, it's really hot today. Like, wow, the sun is right there. Yeah.
I never really imagined that I would be making arguments or listening to arguments really seriously that are from the Bible against science.
Well, that's what they're saying.
You know, like I'm refuting the science by the Bible. I mean, what?
Well, but no, we're using the scientific method based on what we're witnessing, and then realizing, holy shit, it says it right there. That's exactly why you are witnessing what you're seeing. It tells you right there. It is water, yes. I mean, why is it black at night? Because there's no light, and the ocean is black at night. But if you look at it during the day, the ocean is bright blue. The water's above from the water's below, which is kind of crazy. So which further then says, okay, now is this in different?
There are those who would say it's all programming.
We're not going to go there. But
It's all programming.
we're not going to go there. But in some versions they call it the expanse. He created the expanse. And what is the expanse? If you look at the footnotes, the expanse is a translation of dome, like
Yes, okay.
like a snow globe, you know?
Yes, yes.
Something that separates, something that's solid barrier that cannot be penetrated, that keeps the inside from the outside.
Yes.
And this is the reason why it is not possible and never will be, it never has been possible to go into quote unquote space.
But it is possible to make up amazing theories about
Sure.
where we are in an infinite universe.
You heard him. He said they saw it. We saw it. We saw it. Did you see it? No. I mean, I read the article. We saw it. With telescopes, right? We have telescopes. We have. You don't remember when he said, "How do you know?" I asked him, "How do you know?" He says, "Because we saw it. We saw it. They saw it." You know? What did they see? What did you see? What did you see, my friend?
We saw the moon as a solid object. Was that
No, I'm talking about the sign, like NASA and all of them. What do they show? What they're showing is CGI.
Yes, I understand.
And the
so
masses-
he's not talking. Oh, he's talking about that.
Mhm.
He's not talking about putting his eye up to a telescope aimed at the sky.
He never did, but he's read the articles
Okay.
and he's educated and he's
Yes.
indoctrinated, brainwashed, and his own eyes, and that's what they call cognitive dissonance, cannot register that what they're actually seeing is the opposite of what they believe to be seen, which is really an illusion. When you go to a stage show and a guy cuts a girl in half, she's not actually being cut in half.
But you can't see how you can make you
But
see that.
but you're being entertained, so you accept that and you go away like, yeah, that guy was good. But then, you know, a few years later, you watch YouTube videos where they show you how the trick is done, you know?
Or you find out a few years later that in fact this guy cut thousands of women in half.
No, because you can't do that. People don't actually do that. Anyways, that being said, on that note and that tone, I think it says enough, I hope. Count 33. What are the odds of that?